Hello and welcome. I'm here to show you how to replace the screen in your Lenovo Thinkpad T500, and I'm going to show you what I have here. This is the laptop itself, a small box I use to collect the screws. The new screen. Make sure you remove the tapes at the back of the side that keep the screen protection in front of the screen. Mine came with a screen protection and I had to remove a little bit of the tapes so that I wouldn't build them into my laptop. And these are the tools I'm gonna use. Just a small screwdriver with a small cross and a knife that is for using it as a lever. I'll put those things aside and grab the laptop. Usually people recommend not doing this while the power is plugged and removing the battery pack as well. So I'm gonna do that as well, just to make sure we do no damage. And then you open up your laptop, and the first thing we're gonna do is remove the bezel. And by doing that, you need to remove screws. It'll be 6 screws in total. 4 at the corners and 2 screws here. I already removed all of these screws, so what you're gonna do is just remove the cover if they are covered. Sometimes there is a small black cover on top of these screws so you don't see them, and you can use the knife just to get them out like this and then just unscrew them, and then you can remove the bezel. I'm going to do now. Sometimes the bezel is held in place by these clippers and a little bit of tape on the screen, so it might need some small force to get it out, but it should work fine overall. Now I remove the bezel. As you can see, one of the bezel screws is still in place. I put that back in there just to be able to use the lever and the hinges to put my screen in position. Because what I will do now is unscrew the screen itself. For that, there are 3 screws in the corners and 1 screw is hidden at the side. So in order to get that, I put my laptop in this position. I use the lever to first pull apart or pull aside this outside cover, and then there's a small screw here that you have to unscrew while you bend that back, and it will give you this part of your laptop free, so you can bend that back as well. And there's a second screw here that keeps the screen in position on this corner, so you remove that as well. And then your screen is free. I will put it back in completely flat position after I've done that. You want to make sure that you always have at least 1 screw here and 1 screw here at the hinges if you want to change the position of your screen, otherwise you might break something. Well, now we are almost ready to remove the screen. We removed all the screws. This is the inverter board, and it's also held down by 2 screws. I already removed 1. I'm going to remove the second one as well. I will do that even before I take out the screen, because there's a cable which is connected to the inverter board and the Bluetooth unit, and as soon as I pull this up a little bit, the cable will come with it, and it just gives you more wiggle room if you free these 2 units as well, so that they could come out as well if you use too much force. So now you can see the Bluetooth unit and the inverter board are both free. The inverter board, you have to unscrew it anyways to unplug here. And your screen itself is free, and I'm gonna use the knife again as a lever to lift it a little bit. Don't use too much force anywhere. And as you can see, now it comes off easily. Now there's a small cable at the back, and you unplug that so with little force. As you can see, it comes out very nicely and is only connected to the inverter board now. This is the LCD cable. You can take that out carefully if you want to. This is this LED that gives you lighting for the keyboard. Next thing I'm going to do is unplug the inverter board. That will free the screen completely. And we have now successfully removed the old screen. After you removed your old screen, you can use a screwdriver again to remove the screws at the side of the screen to give free these two panels that you will need to fix on your new screen. Make sure not to lose any screws. Now your old screen is completely free, and you have these to attach to your new screen. Make sure you choose the right side. There are 3 screws on one side and 2 screws on the other side. So after you attach the sidebars again, you're ready to place the new screen into your laptop again. And I begin with connecting the inverter board again. There's only one side this can go in, so if it's too hard, don't push it. This one was easy. I'm gonna put it roughly back into place. It'll fit. And I'm gonna flip around the screen. And oh yeah, the length of the cable is barely enough. Make sure it goes under the inverter board. And screen is back in position, it seems. And what you can do now is lift it a little bit and then reconnect this cable, because it will only go in if the screen is a little bit angled. And this is kind of hard. But there again. And slowly put it back down. You don't want to have to unscrew everything after noticing your computer won't turn on or your screen won't work just because you didn't connect the cable properly. Alright, so what I did is plug in the computer and just test whether the screen is working, and since it is working, I'm now ready to assemble everything again. So just to remind you, what we did was taking these screws out, so we will screw back in the inverter board, we will screw back in the Bluetooth unit, and then we will screw back in the screen using this small screw, these 3 screws. I just, as an example, put one here. And after you've done all this, you can put back on the bezel. And you should have 6 screws to attach this. 1 screw here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 2 here. And don't forget to remove the screen cover before. So that will be this one. Just get that here. Yeah. Now you're ready to put your bezel back on. And that should be it. And you can turn on your computer now and see whether you have successfully placed your screen. Thank you for your attention, and I hope it worked for you. With the best regards, bye bye.